Have you ever been in a place so silent, so sterile, so still, it made your skin crawl? What if that place wasn't empty at all? Hospitals are where people go to heal, or to die. But some souls don't leave after the machines flatline. Some stay, watching, whispering, wanting. This is my story, a night shift I'll never forget, a night in the ICU that changed me forever. I wasn't supposed to be working that night. I wasn't even on the schedule, but a last-minute call-in changed everything. I should have said no. God, I wish I had. That's the call-in. It started like any normal night. I was at home finishing my dinner when my phone buzzed. Hey, we're short tonight in the ICU, can you cover? I almost declined. I'd been working doubles all week, and I was exhausted. But something told me to say yes. A strange feeling, like if I didn't go, something worse would happen. I packed up and drove to St. Mark's Medical, one of the oldest hospitals in the state. The ICU was in the East Wing, built in the 1940s, barely updated. Most of us avoided night shifts there. Not because of the patients, but because of the things we couldn't explain. They told stories. Everyone had one. Cold spots, whispers, alarms going off with no one around, a shape standing in room 9. I never believed them, until that night. Chat in room 9. When I arrived, the nurse I was replacing didn't even wait for me to clock in. Thanks for coming, she muttered. You'll have room 3, 5, and 9. She avoided my eyes when she said it. Then she practically sprinted out the door. Room 9 had always been a joke, a boogeyman tale. Supposedly, a patient named Helen died there in the 70s. She'd coded 3 times in one night. On the 3rd time, she didn't come back. But even then, monitors would show vitals, heartbeats, breathing, when there was no one in the bed. I laughed it off. Big mistake. When I first entered room 9 that night, it was empty. The patient assigned to it had been moved after the monitor recorded a flatline, for a bed with no one in it. That should have been my warning. Instead, I set my clipboard down and started my rounds. The air was ice cold. 2:47 a.m. It always happens around 3 a.m., they say. Witching hour. Dead hour. The time when the veil is thinnest. I was checking room 5 when I heard it, the EKG beeping. Room 9. I froze. There wasn't supposed to be anyone in there. Slowly, I walked toward the sound. The hallway seemed darker than before. My footsteps echoed. I swear for a moment I heard a second pair. The monitor in room 9 was flashing. Heart rate 84 BPM. Oxygen 95%. I stepped inside. The bed was still empty. Then the EKG flatlined, and behind me the door slammed shut. Shut! I screamed and ran to the door. It wouldn't budge. My radio crackled, but only static came through. Then the monitor beeped again. Slowly, deliberately, I turned back to the bed. She was sitting there, a woman in a hospital gown, hair matted to her face, skin pale, lips blue, her eyes completely black. You're not supposed to be here, she whispered. I stumbled back. I couldn't speak, couldn't breathe. She reached out a hand. I never left. Then she screamed, ear-splitting, inhuman. The door burst open and I ran out, falling to my knees. Another nurse came running. You okay? You look like you saw a ghost. I couldn't answer, because I had. The files after my shift, I couldn't sleep. I needed answers. I pulled the old patient files from the archive. There she was. Helen M., 67 years old. Died in room 9. Multiple cardiac arrests. One note stood out. Patient continued to exhibit signs of life after death. Room activity persisted for days. There was a final note, handwritten, barely legible. She won't leave. Don't go in alone. I never worked a night shift again. I used to roll my eyes at ghost stories. Not anymore. Hospitals are full of life and death. But death doesn't always move on. Some stay, stuck between beeping monitors and cold tiles. So if you ever find yourself on the night shift in an old hospital wing and you hear a flat line in an empty room, don't check it. Not alone, because Helen is still waiting.